You're listening to the Nothing to Lose podcast with your host, Mansour, giving you his thoughts raw and uncut.
Watched a bunch of Netflix. New Chappelle dropped. He'd been holding out on us for 10 years, but he's back with 2 new specials. Overall, it's great. It's classic Chappelle. He's back better than ever. He kind of went in on Key and Peele, and come to think about it, there's some kind of element of clonishness in them. I kind of see that they cut in his style. I'm still a big fan of Key and Peele and Chappelle. I think it's possible to occupy that middle ground. The other comedian he went in on was Cosby. And this is going to sound crazy, but I'm a big fan of Cosby, and that's kind of hard to say that in today's climate. I kind of watched the Cosby Show on DVD in secret. You know, I got to wait till no one's in the house, draw the curtains, headphones in, watch his DVD on the low key. It's kind of weird that I can't tell people I like it anymore. Like, I bought the box set, but that was before the allegations came out. Am I as guilty now? I can't take it back to the shop. I can't turn back time. I can't undo it. It was his crimes, right? I'm just watching. I'm just an innocent fan, right? I gotta finish it. I want to know how Rudy and Theo and all those guys end up, right? But it's kind of hard watching it and seeing every time he smiles, knowing what's hiding behind that smile, knowing what he was up to allegedly. Because, you know, nothing's been proven yet. The other guy that Cosby reminds me of is that Michael Jackson. Like, I can't publicly tell people I like Michael Jackson without, you know, getting a laugh, right? I'm like a fan of, is it possible to kind of decorrelate the guy's music from, you know, whatever allegedly happened? Right? He was a great singer. Doesn't mean I endorse anything beyond the singing. I'm just there for the, you know, I'm just there for the vocals. I'm not there for anything else. I need to cut down on the subscriptions I got in general. I think I'm on Netflix, I'm on Amazon Prime, I'm on Sky Cinema, way too many subscriptions. I need to cut down. I don't even watch half this stuff. Even with all those subscriptions, I still bootleg. I bootleg stuff that's available on those sites. So, I think that's kind of okay. That there may be some legal ground there. I'm not quite sure. Is it okay to bootleg something that you have legal access to anyway? Is that, even if it's just a convenience thing, right? You have to email in with that question. I went to see David Rodigan speak, the reggae DJ. He gave a talk in central London about his new book. That was pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Rodigan, listen to his show every weekend on One Extra. The thing I love about Rodigan, and probably the most obvious thing about him, is that he's this old white dude. Right? I think it's amusing that, you know, arguably the biggest name DJ in reggae in the world is this 70-year-old white dude from Oxford. I think it says a lot about the universal message of reggae. That's my positive spin on it anyway. But I got mad love for Rodigan because he's like from my hometown, right? He kind of grew up in Oxford. One time I saw him live in Oxford. It was last summer, actually. There was a festival. And because he was playing his hometown, when he was doing like shout outs to the crowd, they will come. You know how like artists, whenever they play a gig, they'll learn something about the local area and maybe shout it out, you know. Like I've seen rap gigs in London and they'll say things like, yo, big up Brixton or whatever the gig is. But that's about as specific as it gets. They'll be like, yo, we were hanging out in Brixton earlier. Make some noise if you're from there. Or one time I saw LOX and they just went super general. They were like, yo, make some noise if you're from East London. You know, like, you know, it's like a 200 square mile area. Yeah, shout out that guy. Anyways, back to Rodigan, like, because he was playing his hometown, because he knows the town so well, his shout-outs were so specific. You know, he was saying things like, yo, shout out the Top Shops crew from Blackbird Leys, or shout out anyone whose parents used to work at the Morris plant, which is like as specific as you can get. But they were old school, right? I think the Morris plant shut down way back, got replaced by the BMW Mini plant. So, you know, his references are a little older. You know, he made it and he left. I love listening to him talk because he's mad knowledgeable. I love listening to reggae because, you know, it's just positive vibes whenever you listen to it. That kind of same day, I had a bit of a reggae afternoon. Around the corner from where he was giving the talk, there's an old flat that Bob Marley used to live in back in the 70s. He kind of moved there when he left Jamaica and he recorded the Exodus album. Yeah, so they've got a kind of blue plaque outside this plain-looking flat near Bloomsbury. Of course, it was a turbulent point in his life. There was the shooting, he left the Wailers and so forth. But he came to London to record what I think is his best album, Exodus. Don't at me. It's definitely got some hits on it. But what's amusing is the irony that to record his best, to be at his best, he had to leave Jamaica and come to somewhere as creativity crushing as Central London. Rest in peace.
Exodus. Movement of the people. Oh yeah. Let me tell you this.
I'm thinking of moving out of Central London. Marylebone is a weird area. It's fractal, right? It's self-similar. Yeah, every street looks the same. Every street's got like a Pret and a Costa and a Starbucks, and it just repeats street after street. It's like the light lunch Mandelbrot set. It's crazy. Thinking of moving back a little more northwest. But I'll be real with you, I don't think I can handle the crime. Marylebone's kind of a quiet area. I was looking at this one area, kind of northwest of here. And I did a little Googling around on the area to get a feel for what it's like. Every single page on the results is crime this, crime that, arrests. I saw one headline that said, police announce a fresh appeal for witnesses on the anniversary of this month. Like, anniversary, fresh appeal, like, they're not even catching these people. Like, I can't handle that kind of crime, man. I like my crime solved. I'm from the Scooby-Doo generation. You know, I like my crime solved in 30 minutes or less. Preferably by teenagers. Maybe those boxing lessons will come in handy. That's the trick. Move out of Central London, save a ton of rent. But that money you save, you have to pay on like self-defense classes so you can throw these things if anyone tries it. In case they try to stick it on you, you're there, you can hold your own. None of that around Marylebone, I'll be real with you. What there is a lot of around Marylebone is dog walkers. I think everyone here is a dog walker. That's the main measure of affluence of an area, is how many dog walkers there are. Right? Because it's just a luxury, isn't it? Like, you're going to pay someone to look after a problem that you created. Like, you took on a responsibility, and rather than handle it yourself, you're going to pay someone else to do it. That's amazing. That's, I can only dream of that kind of wealth. The other thing about living centrally is that you got, like, mad small rooms. My room looks like one of those Japanese hotels. It looks cubicle rooms that you crawl into. Those ones businessmen stay at when they're out in town. It's real small, I'll be real with you. Like, when I have people over and I want to show them the room, we got to take turns. They go in first. I go in next. I got to stand outside while they're inside and I describe the room from the outside. Above all else, the most annoying thing about living centrally is you get these really racist landlords, right? It took me forever to kind of find a room because, that whole kind of no dogs, no blacks, no Irish, that's still alive. I can't get a room because I'm Irish. Weekend just gone was the annual boat race, the big Oxford v Cambridge boat race, like a really posh Olympics. Yeah, even though like no one involved in the actual, like, I don't think anyone on the rowing teams of either uni are like actually there studying as like undergraduates. Like they're all there on like 1 year masters studying something bogus, something obscure, land economy, I don't know, ancient slavery techniques, I don't know, how to oppress the proletariat. I don't know, whatever they're studying, they're there on like a 1 year, 9-month program, probably 2 lectures a week. They spend the rest of the time like in the gym, just working on that rowing technique. I haven't watched it in a couple years. Like, I kind of got ties to both towns, so I don't know who to, I support whoever wins. I'm like that worst person. Like, every time I go to the boat race, I just back whichever team wins. Reminds me of one time I went to New York a couple years back and I watched the Knicks game. And it was Knicks versus Brooklyn Nets. It's like the big New York derby or whatever, right? Kind of like Arsenal Spurs or whatever. And what I did was I went to the game wearing 2 hats, one Knicks hat and one Nets hat. And whichever team was leading, I just put on that hat. Yeah, I got no allegiances. I was just there to watch a game. So yeah, I'll do the same thing with the boat race. Around this time of year, what a few friends of mine do is always get together for dinner. It's kind of like an old uni reunion. We dress up nice, rent out a function room, get the 3 courses in, catch up. It's kind of like the Riot Club minus the violence. Like we don't beat up the proprietor of the establishment afterwards, though we should do. I mean, not that I plan to. Don't use this recording as evidence in court. But yeah, most of them go to the boat race afterwards, but I kind of skipped that these last few years because I'm mad busy. But I always check the results on the TV afterwards. kind of final thought I'll leave you with this week is based on a news article I read. Well, it was really kind of a news video that I watched. They had an interview on BBC with Rachel Dolezal. You know, she was kind of in the news last year because, you know, she kind of, well, the reports were that, you know, she was a white woman kind of pretending to be a black woman. Like, I think the reaction from people online around the world is kind of harsh. I don't think that people should go in on someone else like that, right? I don't know what was going through her mind that kind of led her life to create circumstances where she was living like that. I don't know. I don't think we should round on people like that. But, you know, it got me thinking, you know, this whole idea of race is something that's constructed. Right, it doesn't exist. It's 19th century pseudoscience. We still use the word race today because we can't think of a better word, right? You know, we're socialized to think about race. And if it's not something that exists, why can someone not adopt the culture around a quote unquote race? You know, in the same way that somebody might adopt a religion, say, you know, someone might convert to that. And that's not to say that religion and culture is something to be trivialized and that it's merely a hat that you put on. But if somebody wants to join your way of life with all sincerity and they're coming to you and they're being genuine, then they should be welcomed in. And I think that's what she's doing here. I don't know, that's just kind of a thought I'll leave you with. It's a lot deeper and heavier than we're used to on this podcast. But yeah, have a think about that. Peace.